Hello, this is Jurgen Rasmussen. Welcome to the Provocative Hypnosis Vlog. I thought I would make an episode talking about how you can use hypnotic phenomena in the context of change work, meaning how can you actually use hypnotic phenomena to help someone have insights into the nature of their own experience and to have perceptual shifts that are really felt and that really make a difference. So I thought I would do this by offering a case story from my practice. And this is an ongoing case. So I'm seeing this woman in Spain at the moment over Skype. And she had two very specific complaints. One complaint was chronic low back pain and pelvic pain. That's now gone. And she also has some hysterical paralysis of the leg. So, and this has been there for about 6 months. So she's been unable to walk alone in the streets if she can't hold a wall. So whenever she would try to walk outside, her leg would just stiffen and get paralyzed. And there's nothing neurologically wrong with her. And when she's in her apartment, she can easily walk around. So I've been doing some work with her in my typical psychological illusion model way and inquired her to test this in the streets, and her leg would just paralyze. And she said to me, it's like a reflex. It just seems to be like a reflex. It just happens so fast. And she said, it's just so physical. It's just so physical. So when she said this to me, I had her stand up and I had her imagine her feet being stuck to the floor in such a way that it became real to her. And in such a way that the more she tried to lift her feet, the more she found that they were glued to the floor. And she had this experience and it was really compelling to her. It was completely real, meaning she tried to lift her feet and to move, and she couldn't. And as she was in that experience, I said to her, what's that like for you? And she said, it's just so, and I said, physical? And she said, yes. And she had this moment where you could see something switch on in her mind. And I said to her, now when I snap my fingers, you're going to easily be able to move your feet. And I snapped my fingers and she could move. Now, of course, what happened to this woman is that she would think that she couldn't move her feet, forget that it was all a thought, and then feel, believe, and act as if it was real, and her leg was actually paralyzed. So I taught her how she could turn this on and off with her own mind by using some suggestions. And then I had her lock her arm in such a way that essentially having her imagine a steel bar through the arm like this and to imagine it in such a way that the more she tried to bend her arm, the more it would just stay stuck. And that was a completely compelling experience as well. And I thought it was important to add that to kind of go, look, it has nothing to do with your feet. And then based upon those responses and what she told me, I did a kind of formal hypnotic process with her where I just gave her a lot of suggestions around walking the streets and being free to move and so on and so forth. And she went out twice during that session and walked the streets. She was a little bit hesitant, and then she did it and was really successful at that and came back and had a tremendous experience. Now, we're not quite done yet, but it was massive progress in a particular session. Now, notice this. There was no eyes closed. There was no formal hypnotic induction per se. It was just evoking and using hypnotic phenomena, using her phrases, her language, to help her have an insight into the nature of her own experience. So when people say something like, it's just a reflex or it's just so physical, helping someone to imagine something and have it manifest physically in a way where it's as real can be an excellent tool. And if someone has a very external frame of reference where it kind of seems as if it's the streets doing it to me, like it's the situation making my leg get paralyzed, you can pace that by, as the hypnotist, suggesting what I just said, have her experience that as real, and then train her to, in her own mind, reject all those suggestions while you give the same suggestions, so that she can notice that I can say the same things, but she can choose to have the experience or not. So that's one way. There are many others. Example of how you can use hypnotic phenomena with your clients. My own psychological illusion model to hypnosis and change is essentially a way of reverse engineering this and turning hypnosis upside down on its head. So if this appeals to you, know that I'm doing a 2-day seminar September 25th and 26th, 2021. It's hosted by Pete Dalton, ayetherandalchemy.net. It's going to be online through Zoom. You can also go to my website, provocativehypnosis.com, hit the seminar page. You'll see the link. So I really hope to see you there. Also, if you're looking to do some change work, mentoring, you can reach me at provocativehypnosis.com. I hope this was useful. Thanks for listening.